In 1998, I was the head of general pediatrics at the Children's Hospital, and we had 2 patients that had recessive dystrophic EB, and we needed to bring them in to have baths. What basically happened was the nursing service revolted because it was so traumatic for the children to have their baths when they were in the hospital. And in fact, what we eventually had to do was take them to the operating room and give them anesthesia in order to have them bathed.
Children, who have genetic conditions like recessive dystrophic EB, unfortunately inherited or were born with changes in their genetic code that they had no control over. Those changes in the genetic code then basically lead to a deficiency or an absence of a key critical protein in terms of how their skin and their other epithelia functions. Your genetic code is kind of like the text in a book. And the gene that's affected in recessive dystrophic EB is called COL7A1. It encodes a protein called collagen 7, which is important in terms of helping to hold the skin and other mucous membranes together. The absence of the collagen 7 protein in recessive dystrophic EB then leads to the skin being fragile. That's why the skin more or less will blister or form sores, in response to very minor trauma in the skin.
They're called butterfly children. Butterfly children because the slightest little abrasion or friction causes that outer layer of skin to separate and causes a blister, and then when that blister breaks open, it causes an ulcer. So these are children that have blisters all over their body, but especially where there's friction. So think about elbows, knees, feet, back. They have eye blisters and eye scarring. Because of these problems, they're nutrition problems. I always say that these are children that every day run a marathon because the amount of energy it takes to heal all of their blistering is enormous. While it's a disease of the skin, it really affects many parts of the body. In my mind, this is the worst condition that a child can have. It's worse than cancer. It's worse than other kinds of genetic diseases because the pain and limitations in activity and depression are much greater with this condition than any other condition that I know.
In general, I think that we could categorize, care for patients with EB as sort of falling into 2 buckets. The first bucket is really going to be addressing symptoms, quality of life. That's really kind of the current state of care. Things like wound care, nutritional support. Again, so these are kind of things that are helping to keep our patients as healthy as possible, but the reality is that they don't address the underlying, cause. And because we're not able to address that, the condition is going to be progressive. So when we're thinking about treatments kind of above and beyond what we're currently able to do, what we either need to be able to do is to give back that protein into the skin, or to in some way change the cells so that the cells are able to make the correct protein. And really, cells rely on having the correct genetic information in order to do that. The work that's going on here at the Gates Center is really kind of taking the step of thinking about how we can actually modify or really kind of address the underlying cause of the EB.
There probably are 30 different individual genes that, in essence, in some way, encode proteins that give the skin mechanical stability. If you mutate any of them, you'll get a type of blistering disease. After you once see a kid with EB, it just compels you to try to find a way to repair it and fix it.
We had a situation where when the family went back to another state, the police were waiting for them because a passenger said that the mother was abusing the child because the child was all bandaged and had all of these blisters on. Fortunately, they had a letter that explained the disease. And the mother said by the time they were through, the police and the family, everyone, airlines officials were all crying.
The patient advocacy organization, Deborah, Dystrophic EB Research Association, has sort of coined this term that EB is the worst disease you've never heard of. And I think that really, rings true just because this is incredibly impactful